Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 237 Digital version is finally here. The God Thunder Kashimu finally entered the battle to challenge Sukuna in a deathmatch just as he promised to Hakari that if Gojo loses, he will join. Now we know why Kashimu thinks Gojo is gonna lose to Sukuna is because Kashimu already knows he is stronger than Gojo. Maybe. That's why Kashimu said if Gojo dies, he will fight Sukuna, the battle of the strongest. I don't know why Sukuna is called the battle of the strongest. Maybe he was not born strong at all. That's when I realized that maybe Sukuna got stronger through experience and relying on his natural talent for understanding the curse energy better than any sorcerer maybe. And then Uraume joined the battle to team up with Sukuna, but Hakari also joined the battle to fight Uraume, and they both activated their domain expansion. I'm not sure if Uraume activated his domain expansion as Miyamura translates that they both activated their domain expansion, but I think Uraume just summoned a giant ice boulder to hand Sukuna his curse tool. And Sukuna caught the curse tool as the ice boulder melted above him. And Kashima is aware that it was a curse tool of Sukuna. I think Kashima knows better about Sukuna's curse tool and techniques information than Gojo. This proves Kashimi is probably smarter than Gojo because Gojo doesn't know anything about Sukuna's technique at all. And I think all agree that Gojo is probably not going all out when fighting Sukuna because of Mikumi, or maybe Sukuna is just stronger than Gojo. We just need to accept the fact that Sukuna is the strongest sorcerer and Gojo is no match against Sukuna. The narrator explains what emerged from the melting ice block was made from 10,000 binding vows. Curse tool Kumatoke. Its effect was strange. 10,000 binding vows. Imagine putting 10,000 binding vows in a single curse tool with 10,000s of conditions to make curse tool so powerful. Then Sukuna used the curse tool and said it was just like the old times, and then struck Kashimo with a giant lightning strike. The curse tool itself is like a god's weapon. Sukuna is portraying that he is possessing a godlike power, and Gege is telling us that Sukuna is like God himself. But Kashimo nullified the lightning strike and did not affect him because Kashimo's curse technique made him invulnerable to electric shocks. Then Kashimo asks Sukuna this question: did you become the strongest? Or were you born the strongest? And then Sukuna replied to Kashimo, I don't know. I was an unwanted child. It seems that Sukuna is saying that he was hated by all people when he was a child. He was probably mistreated by other people around him, and no one didn't care about him, and they did so many cruel things to Sukuna. And then Kashimo asks Sukuna again some questions without weakness. How do you relate with other people? How do you love other people? Then Sukuna replied to Kashimo, I wasn't capable of doing so. Besides me, all other human beings were fragile pieces of dirt. Then Kashimo said, tell me, is it lonely to be the strongest? And then Sukuna taps the curse tool on his head and calls Kashimo extravagant. And then Sukuna says Gojo's Satoru is the same greedy. Let me show you. Come here, cursed spirit. Sukuna insulted Kashimo by calling him a cursed spirit. That is an insult because Sukuna is saying that he will exorcise Kashimo like a cursed spirit. Sukuna is treating Kashimo like a lifeless, dirty, cursed spirit instead of a respectable sorcerer. That is how Sukuna treats people around him. He sees everyone like a small bug that he can squish like a tiny insect. Then Kashimo immediately attacks Sukuna for insulting him like a trash cursed spirit. And then Kashimo used the curse technique Genju Kohasahu and darted towards Sukuna like a ferocious thunder and punched Sukuna in the face so hard that he was not able to anticipate Kashimo's movement because he was too fast. Then Kashimo gathered curse energy in his chest and blew up a lightning energy from his mouth and hit Sukuna. And Sukuna says it is so loud. It probably sounds like thunder, that's why Sukuna said it is so loud. And then Kashimo activated his transformation to power up himself. And Sukuna did not notice Kashimu's hand was already in front of him. Kashimu became faster than before. In a second, Sukuna tries to blink, not realizing Kashimu is already in front of him. Kashimu landed another punch on Sukuna's face and knocked Sukuna to the floor. The narrator explains it enhances Kashimu's agility with the activation of electric pulses in his brain. The sound waves are synchronized with the vibration frequency of the material. The electromagnetic waves vaporize everything that comes through. Kashima's body is capable of doing this, has transcended farther beyond the limitation of humans. This means Kashima became faster and stronger than human sorcerers. I think this is what the narrator is trying to say, that Kashima became stronger than human sorcerers himself. Because of his transformation, it became a pure cursed energy that even Gojo Satoru is not capable of doing. Kashima's technique is so powerful, but after the technique concludes, Kashima's body begins to disintegrate. I think Kashimo is still not done here. Maybe he can also use the reverse curse technique to heal his techniques, right? I mean, this amazing fight between Sukuna and Kashimo deserves longer chapters. So I hope Kashimo can recover his technique and does not get tired in the next chapter. And then Kashimo hits Sukuna with a lightning strike to vaporize him. And then the narrator is saying something again. The body can recover without using reverse curse technique, but it can only be done once. This time, it was intentionally stopped. The transformation of reincarnation has been restarted. Sukuna just activated his second form to also fully heal himself without using the reverse curse technique. I feel like the fight between Kashima and Sukuna in this chapter is probably just getting started, and we will see more powerful techniques that Kashima hasn't been using, and we will also witness the other powerful curse techniques of Sukuna that he hasn't been showing yet in the next chapter. Sukuna is forced to use his powerful techniques because Kashimo is that powerful. Kashima is probably stronger than Gojo because he made Sukuna use his hidden techniques that Sukuna did not even use against Gojo. And that's it for the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 237. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.